In the time of Roman history, the Battle of Carrhae in 53 BCE stands as a haunting testament to the perils of arrogance and unchecked ambition. At its heart was Marcus Licinius Crassus, a man whose previous feats in the Spartacus campaign had earned him the mantle of a hero. Little did he know that his thirst for glory and wealth would lead to a catastrophic venture into Parthian territory in the unforgiving landscape of modern-day Iran. Carrhae, from its inception, unfolded as a tragedy. The Romans, unaccustomed to the open expanse and blistering heat of Syria, faced an adversary unlike any they had encountered, the Parthian cavalry, a formidable force of cataphracts and armored camels. Crassus, driven by political rivalry with Pompey and Caesar, sought to outshine his contemporaries. Yet, as Ian Dickey notes, he aimed for glory but reaped tragedy and death. The outcome was devastating. 20,000 Romans perished, 10,000 were captured, and only a fraction, about 5,000, escaped the brutal aftermath. Crassus, once a capable military leader and statesman, found himself ensnared by the intoxicating allure of power and conquest. Together with Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great, he formed the First Triumvirate, an alliance that dominated the Roman Republic for nearly a decade. The Triumvirate, born out of a need for stability amid a teetering republic and looming civil war, held sway over Roman politics, even controlling elections. Crassus, despite his prior success, yearned for a military triumph to bolster his political standing. With Caesar's victories in Gaul and Pompey's conquests against pirates, the East beckoned. Parthia, shrouded in mystery but rumored to be wealthy, became Crassus's fixation. Ignoring treaties signed by Pompey, he embarked on a campaign fueled by arrogance and greed, sealing not only his fate but the demise of the First Triumvirate. As Crassus set forth on his ill-fated expedition in November 55 BCE, he marched through Asia Minor, looting towns and temples to amass personal wealth. Leaving garrisons in captured territories, he ventured into Parthian lands, heedless of warnings. His army, a formidable force on paper, included infantry, light infantry, and various cavalry units. However, the Arab cavalry, crucial for the upcoming battle, departed before the conflict unfolded. The Parthian envoys sought answers, questioning Rome's intentions and demanding withdrawal. Despite advice to reconsider from those familiar with the region, Crassus pressed on. Parthian king Orodes II, sensing the threat, led his forces into Armenia to hinder their support for Crassus. Simultaneously, the Parthian governor Surena marshaled his troops to face the Roman adversary. In the unfolding confrontation, Crassus organized his forces, initially forming a long line. Fearing vulnerability on the flanks, he adapted, creating a tight square formation. The hollow square contained not only the infantry, but also the light infantry, cavalry, and the baggage. The die was cast, and the stage was set for a clash that would reverberate through history. The barren expanse of the Syrian desert bore witness to a clash of civilizations, the disciplined might of Rome against the cunning Parthian cavalry, a force unlike anything the Romans had faced before. In the scorching heat, the Parthians, masters of swift warfare, boasted no infantry but possessed the fearsome cataphracts, lancers atop armored camels, and nimble mounted archers. Their tactics emphasized mobility, expert horsemanship, and a unique maneuver known as the Parthian shot, a breathtaking display where a mounted archer, racing away at full speed, unleashed a barrage of arrows over the horse's rump. This tactic proved a nearly insurmountable challenge for the Romans. On the Roman side stood the stalwart legionaries, battle-tested and adapted for hand-to-hand combat. Armed with a heavy javelin and a short stabbing sword, the legionaries wore a bronze helmet, shield, and mail tunic. However, their training and equipment, honed against Greek adversaries, left them ill-prepared for the relentless onslaught of the Parthians in the vast emptiness of the Syrian desert. As the two forces clashed on the battlefield, the Romans, organized in a tight square formation, anticipated a direct Parthian charge that never materialized. The Parthians, with no need for horns or trumpets, used hollow drums with bronze bells, creating an eerie battlefield symphony. Their strategy was simple yet devastating. Continuous volleys of arrows from the mobile archer cavalry circumventing the Roman square. Attempts by the Roman light-armed troops to counterattack were thwarted by the relentless hail of Parthian arrows, fracturing armor and instilling fear. Hope waned as the Romans witnessed camels laden with an apparently limitless supply of arrows, dispelling any notion of the Parthians running out of ammunition. Crassus, realizing the gravity of the situation, ordered his son Publius to engage the enemy. Publius led his Gallic cavalry, already fatigued from the oppressive summer heat, alongside additional cavalry, foot archers and legionnaires, hoping to quell the relentless Parthian assault. In the ensuing chaos, Publius, pursuing retreating horse archers, fell victim to a Parthian ruse. As the Romans halted, believing victory was at hand, the Parthians turned around, making the Romans easy targets for their deadly archery. Publius, deceived and outnumbered, faced a futile struggle with small spears against formidable breastplates. Publius's death became a turning point in the battle, shattering the spirits of the Romans. In the aftermath, the Parthians, scornful and taunting, inquired about Publius's family lineage, casting doubt on Crassus's valor. Yet, in their disdain, they granted Crassus a night to mourn his son. The troubling night saw the Romans unable to bury their dead or tend to the wounded. Despite the dire circumstances, a small group of 300 Romans, under the command of Ignatius, seized an opportunity to escape to Carrhae. Informing the city of the disastrous battle, they pressed on, leaving a night of uncertainty and mourning in their wake. As the moon cast its silvery glow upon the desolate landscape, Marcus Licinius Crassus, once the triumvirate and hero of Rome, found himself ensnared in the treacherous aftermath of the Battle of Carrhae. The air hung heavy with despair as the Roman army, battered and broken, faced the harsh reality that staying meant certain doom. Acknowledging the futility of their situation, Crassus made a painful decision: leave the wounded behind and retreat to the safety of Carrhae. The city offered a temporary refuge, but Crassus knew that their respite would be short-lived. Plans for the next move were already underway, for the Romans understood that lingering in Carrhae would lead to their demise. Yet, at the walls of Carrhae, the Parthians, like vultures circling wounded prey, demanded the surrender of Crassus and his second-in-command, Cassius, in chains. The remnants of the Roman army faced a dire choice: yield to the conquerors or brave the uncertainties that lay beyond the city walls. Surena, the Parthian commander, sought to reap the full rewards of victory and proposed a meeting with Crassus. A messenger, fluent in the Roman tongue, conveyed the Parthians' request. With dwindling supplies and a despondent army, Crassus, reluctant to engage with Surena, saw no alternative but to abandon Carrhae. In a desperate attempt to escape the looming threat, Crassus and his army embarked on a night journey towards Armenia. However, the cloak of darkness could not conceal their confusion in unfamiliar terrain, and they found themselves lost in the unforgiving marshes. A trusted guide turned traitor, leading them astray in the moonlit labyrinth. The Romans sought refuge on a towering hill, while the traitorous guide ensured the Parthian pursuers remained close. Amidst the chaos, the Roman commander Octavius managed a daring escape with a faction of his men, only to meet his demise at the hands of a relentless Parthian soldier upon his return. As the night unfolded, terms were once again offered to Crassus, who, though reluctant, faced the pressure of his men. The outcome of the meeting with Surena became shrouded in myth and conjecture. Some claimed Crassus met his end, while others surrendered, only to be captured and mercilessly cut down. Cassius Dio spoke of Crassus meeting his demise, either by his own men to evade capture or by the enemy due to severe wounds. A macabre tale also surfaced, alleging that molten gold was poured into Crassus's mouth, a cruel mockery of his immense wealth. His head, a grisly trophy, graced the stage in a performance of Euripides' tragedy, serving as the silent witness to the calamity at Carrhae. In the aftermath, Carrhae stood as a testament to Crassus's blind ambition and a stark reminder of the perils that awaited those who underestimated the challenges of the East. The once formidable Triumvirate, now severed by Crassus's demise, signaled the beginning of the end. Rome, however, would endure, weathering the storm of Parthian resistance. The Battle of Carrhae, etched alongside the grim annals of Cannae and Adrianople, would forever stand as one of Rome's most catastrophic military disasters. Yet, resilient and unconquered, Rome would rise again, overcoming the haunting shadows of Carrhae to forge its destiny as an enduring empire.